Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're taking a close look at a really compact but powerful book from the Bible.
That's right. We're talking about the Book of Nahum, specifically the King James Version.
It's Old Testament prophecy, and it kicks off with this very direct title.
The burden of Nineveh. Okay, straight away, this is serious. It's a pronouncement, a heavy message aimed right at this major ancient city, Nineveh.
Exactly. So our goal here is to sort of unpack the key messages, look at the really striking imagery in these chapters.
And figure out what it tells us about Nineveh, sure, but also about the divine, about judgment as it's presented here.
Okay, let's jump into chapter 1 then. It starts right off with describing God's character in a, well, pretty intense way.
It really does. What hits you first, I think, is this duality. Verses 2 and 3, you get God described as jealous, avenging, furious.
Strong words, very strong, holding wrath against enemies.
But then, almost in the same breath, it says, the Lord is slow to anger.
And a stronghold, a place of safety for those who trust him. That's verse 7.
It's a fascinating contrast, isn't it? Sets up this complex picture right from the start.
And the power described.
Yeah.
Wow. It just escalates. Whirlwinds, storms.
Clouds like dust under his feet, rebuking the sea, drying up rivers. I mean, the scale is cosmic.
Mountains quaking, hills melting. It's like nature itself is just overwhelmed.
That's the picture, yeah. An absolutely irresistible force. It makes the question in verse 6 feel, well, inevitable.
Who can stand before his indignation? You read that and you think, nobody. Right. Who could possibly withstand that kind of fury?
And the text makes it clear this fury is directed while God protects the faithful.
Right. The stronghold idea again.
Yeah. Nineveh faces something else entirely. An overrunning flood is mentioned. Utter destruction, darkness covering its place.
Yeah, verse 8. It's not just defeat, it's erasure.
And it's final. Verse 9 is so emphatic. Affliction shall not rise up the second time.
So this isn't a temporary setback for Nineveh. This is the end.
And we get a hint why. Verse 10 describes them, even in their security. Folded together as thorns, maybe tangled in their own complexities.
Or complacent. Drunken as drunkards.
Right. And because of this, they'll be consumed completely, like dry stubble. It suggests this internal rot beneath the surface.
And then there's this specific mention, verse 11, of a wicked counselor coming out of Nineveh, plotting against the Lord.
Yeah, that's key. It points to not just, general bad behavior, but active, malicious intent, rebellion against divine authority as a core reason for the judgment.
Which leads to the actual sentence being passed down. They'll be cut down no matter how many they are.
Their power, their yoke on others will be broken, their influence severed. That's verses 12 and 13. It's a complete dismantling.
And it goes even further. No more legacy, no descendants carrying the name.
Verse 14, destruction of their idols, their objects of worship. And the place itself becoming a grave because, as the text says, they were vile. It's incredibly harsh.
Total obliteration. But the chapter ends on a different note, doesn't it?
It does, a shift. Verse 15 shows a messenger coming to Judah, bringing good tidings, announcing peace.
Because Nineveh, the oppressor, is finished.
Exactly. So Nineveh's fall directly leads to Judah's liberation. One nation's judgment is another's salvation in this narrative.
Okay, so chapter 1 sets the stage. God's power, Nineveh's wickedness, the finality of the judgment. Chapter 2 then just throws us right into the battle itself.
Oh, absolutely. It's incredibly graphic. Verse 1. He that dasheth in pieces is come up before thy face. The attacker is already there.
It tells Nineveh to prepare, right?
Yeah.
Guard the walls, watch the road.
Yeah, make thy loins strong, fortify thy power mightily, but you feel the futility in it.
And there's a reason given, verse 2. The Lord is restoring Jacob, or Israel, because the emptiers, that's probably Nineveh, have ravaged them.
So it's payback, in a sense, a reversal of fortunes driven by past actions.
And the description of the invading army. It's so visual. Red shields, soldiers in scarlet.
Chariots like flaming torches flashing, moving incredibly fast. Even the trees seem to shake. It's meant to be terrifying.
You get this sense of complete chaos in the attack. Verse 4 talks about chariots raging in the streets, jostling against each other.
Like lightning, like torches, just overwhelming speed and violence.
And Nineveh's defenders, they're stumbling, rushing to the walls, but it sounds disorganized.
Verse 5, yeah. Scrambling, but seemingly too late or too panicked.
Then comes the breach. Verse 6, the gates of the rivers shall be opened.
And the palace shall be dissolved. That's a critical moment. Maybe a flood, maybe a tactic using the rivers. Either way, the core defense is broken.
And then we get this mention of Hazab, who is Hazab, typically.
Well, it's debated. Maybe the queen, maybe a symbolic name for Nineveh itself or its queen mother perhaps, but the image is powerful.
Yeah.
This figure being led away captive, mourning.
Shows the human cost, the fall of the elite.
Definitely. And then the panic spreads. Verse 8 describes Nineveh, which used to be secure like a pool of water, now just emptying out, people fleeing.
Someone shouts, "Stand, stand!" But no one listens.
Total chaos. And then the looting, verse 9, taking the silver, the gold, all the pleasant furniture.
The spoils of war. Just stripping the city bare.
And the state of the city afterwards. Verse 10 paints a bleak picture. Empty, void, waste.
And the psychological impact, too. Melting hearts, shaking knees, pain, faces gone pale.
Utter terror and despair. It's visceral.
Then the text sort of pauses and asks, where is the lion's den now?
Right. Verses 11 and 12, Nineveh was seen as this fierce predator, the lion, unstoppable. Now, where did all that power go?
It's gone. Vanished.
And the chapter ends with God speaking directly again. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts.
No ambiguity there.
None. Chariots burned, the sword devouring, their prey cut off, their messenger silenced. It's a complete shutdown.
Okay, so if chapter 2 showed how it happened, chapter 3 seems to really dig into the why.
Exactly. It starts with that terrible pronouncement, woe to the bloody city.
Just lays it out there. Full lies, robbery.
The prey departeth not. Constantly consuming, never satisfied. That's verse 1.
And the sounds of violence return. The whip, rattling wheels, horses, chariots.
Verse 2 and 3, flashing swords, glittering spears, leading to piles of corpses. A multitude of slain, no end of their corpses. It's gruesome.
Just emphasizes the brutality that defined Nineveh.
But then verse 4 gives the deeper reason. The multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts.
That's striking imagery. What's that generally taken to mean? It's not literal, presumably?
Probably not primarily literal. It likely refers to Nineveh's seductive but treacherous dealings with other nations, using alliances, trade, maybe even cultural influence, the witchcrafts, to dominate and exploit them.
Like a systemic corruption masked by attractiveness.
Precisely. Seducing nations and families, drawing them into their exploitative system.
And the punishment fits the crime. Symbolically speaking, God says he'll expose their shame.
Verse 5, I will discover thy skirts upon thy face. Basically, uncover your nakedness, show the nations your shame. Public humiliation on a grand scale.
Making them vile, a gazing stock, as verse 6 puts it. Something people stare at in horror or disgust.
And the result, universal rejection. Verse 7 says people will flee, asking, who will bemoan her? The answer implied is, nobody.
No sympathy for Nineveh.
None at all. And just to hammer the point home that even the mightiest can fall, the text brings up populous no.
Which is Thebes. In Egypt, right?
Yeah.
A huge, powerful city in its own right.
Exactly. Verses 8 to 10 detail its strength. Surrounded by water, powerful allies like Ethiopia, Egypt, Put, Lubim.
But even Thebes fell. Its children dashed in pieces, its great men put in chains.
So the message to Nineveh is clear. You think you're safe. Look what happened to Thebes. You're not special. You're next.
Verse 11 says Nineveh too will be drunken, become hidden, seek strength, but find none. That state of confusion and helplessness again.
Yeah, their fall is portrayed as surprisingly easy despite their fortifications, like ripe figs just falling off a tree when it's shaken. That's verse 12.
Their strongholds just won't hold.
And their people, described as women in verse 13, weak, vulnerable, the gates are wide open, fire consumes their defenses.
It seems like any attempt to prepare is pointless.
Yeah.
Verse 14 tells them to draw water, reinforce, make bricks.
But verse 15 immediately says, there shall the fire devour thee, the sword shall cut thee off. It makes no difference.
And what about all their merchants, their officials? They were numerous.
Like locusts, verse 16 and 17 say, they spread out, they spoil, and then they just fly away. Gone without a trace when trouble comes. No loyalty, no substance.
So their vast network just dissolves.
And the leadership itself, verse 18, the shepherds slumber, the nobles shall dwell in the dust. The people are scattered, no one to gather them, total breakdown of society.
Wow. It's a complete picture of societal collapse.
And the book ends on this incredibly bleak note for Nineveh, verse 19. There is no healing of thy bruise, thy wound is grievous, it's fatal, irreversible.
And the reaction from the world.
Everyone who hears about it claps their hands, they rejoice. Why? Because upon whom hath not thy wickedness passed continually? Everyone had suffered under them.
So, okay, let's sum up this deep dive. The Book of Nahum is just. It's this intense, focused blast of prophetic judgment against Nineveh.
Yeah, it uses incredibly vivid, often violent imagery to show the power of God and the reasons for Nineveh's destruction, its violence, its greed, its systemic injustice.
And the downfall isn't just predicted. It's depicted as absolute, total, and irreversible.
And hopefully, for you listening, you've gained a clearer picture of what's inside this short but really potent book. The historical echoes, the theological statements, the sheer power of the language.
It definitely leaves you with things to think about.
Mm.
Which leads us to maybe a final thought for you. When you encounter this kind of intense divine judgment narrative, this detailed focus on the destruction of a powerful, oppressive empire like Nineveh,
What does it make you consider about power itself, about accountability, about the consequences when aggression and wickedness go unchecked? Not just back then, but maybe how those themes still resonate today.
something to mull over. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.